Hi, welcome to my Unit 1 individual project presentation. My name is Nigel Higgon. I'm a senior site manager for G2 Energy. We work in the renewable sector, the energy sector. I've worked for G2 Energy for the past 7 years. We started off working on wind turbines and connecting solar farms to the national grid. When the tariffs got cut for both these sections or sectors, we moved on to battery storage parks. We built the first ever battery storage parks in the UK, in England, down in Kent and one in Cumbria. We're currently building the largest battery storage park in Europe, which is in Swindon, and we're currently building the first 2 battery storage parks out in Northern Ireland. That's a bit about myself. To meet the objectives for this assignment, first of all I decided to create a plan where I got some dates down and some kind of time scales for me to be able to go forward and create a program from. Next I had to research how I was going to formulate this plan, what software I was going to use. Then I was going to create a program and also create a logbook to record what tasks I was achieving per week. There's just the example of the written plan which I produced first of all, which just basically broke down the assignment into different tasks and how I was going to progress through them with some dates alongside and some time scales for what I wanted to achieve. From this then I would create the program. So what software was I going to use? I have some basic understanding in Excel, Microsoft Excel, and we also use Microsoft Projects and Work, which I don't really get involved a lot in writing the programs, but I have some familiarity. So I decided I needed to get some help with this, so I bought some online tuition program, just to help me work my way through this project. So the software I decided to use was Microsoft Projects. There's an example of the program I wrote, with the tasks broken down into individual tasks with some time scales alongside them, as you can see from the Garrett chart alongside. The program was running over 35 days, so I started on the 29th to the 10th, and this was to finish on the 12th of the 12th, which is submission day. The weekly log, I broke down into activities that I carried out for that week, just stating what I had done for that week and the tasks I achieved and how I'd gone about them. And also I would put down the goals for the next week, so going from the program. If I achieved what I want to achieve, then the goals for the following week I would also record in this program. If I'd managed to put something forward, then I would go in there. Also I had an area for mitigation. If there's an issue or anything had gone wrong, then there's somewhere I could record that as well. Also in the weekly log, I decided to take from the program a progress report as well, just to see the progress as it's continuing through the assignment. As you can see at this particular report, I'm at 63% of the assignment complete. Right, researching material. Most of the material I researched, I carried out online. As I'm carrying out this course from a distance, most of my research I'm doing is actually online. A lot of the stuff I'm kind of looking at websites. I did get some of the legislation and regulations from a YouTube site. So I'm looking at various different sites online to get my research from. As with COVID-19, obviously, with the lockdowns, we don't have the access to libraries. I don't have the access to university library or college libraries. For most of the research for this assignment, I probably have taken from, or for the secondary research, I've taken from the HSE website, along with some others. So as you can see, there's a pie chart I developed from some of the information I had taken from, this is showing the HSE website, and this is for fatal injuries for the years 2014 to 2019. Some of the difficulties I had when I was researching this was finding the exact information I really wanted, whereas I couldn't really find anything for a particular year, whereas usually most of it broke down into 3 years. Some of the difficulties are, I decided while I was going through this report to keep to my program, sometimes not to dwell on one thing too long and just continue, and then maybe come back and look and research elsewhere. So there's an example of a pie chart I've introduced. And here's also another bar chart which is taken from the Office for National Statistics, just showing the different accidents that are happening in the workplace, comparing them with the construction industry to other industries. So as you can see, you've got falls from height in the construction industry quite high compared to all other industries. So that's kind of information I've been able to find while researching this online. So how did I formulate results? To choose applicable content and created various charts. So for my primary research, I chose one of our sites, which is in Swindon, which is the largest battery storage site in Europe, currently being built and should be energized within the next month or so. Where at one time we probably had about 60 men on site working together. So this site has just been running over a year. So I approached our HSEQ team for them to forward me the information of any accidents or near misses reported for this site. So from the information I backed them, I've just made a table just to identify the number of accidents and near misses and the categories they fell into, and a brief description of them. So from the table, I then just made some basic simple pie charts showing how they compare to each other. So on the left hand side we got the accidents and near misses. As you can see, there's more accidents, more near misses compared to the accidents. This doesn't really tie into the information that I got back from researching online. This could be down to possibly a reluctance to report near misses on site, and possibly the management team's reluctance to record near misses. And that was something we probably would need to look into. And then on the pie chart on the right, they're showing the different categories for accidents that's actually happened and been reported at 90, which this does kind of compare quite well to the research I've done in the secondary research. I also sent out a questionnaire to the workforce at 90 just to get some basic understanding of the level of knowledge of health and safety. And from the answers I got back, I created this table and just to identify where the weaknesses were. As you can see, question 1 and question 2, hardly anybody knew, and I think question 1 was, how many days do you have to be off from an injury to make it reportable under RIDA, which only one person answered correctly. Question 2, you can see no one answered this correctly, which was I give them a choice of 3 for reportable accidents, which would be reportable, which no one got right. So from this table I think it's quite clear that the knowledge of RIDOR is quite low. And other things is quite reasonable, and question 5 can't remember. So that was the table I came up with just to identify their knowledge of health and safety. The way I managed and documented my progress, as you've seen, I used the Microsoft project program. So weekly, every Wednesday, I would update the program. I would put in the percentages for each task to the date required, the percentage of the task completed, and if I could bring anything forward, then I would readjust the program and bring it forward. There was a couple of slight hiccups with it, and initially writing the program, it all seemed to go a bit pear-shaped, but eventually got there. But there's still 1 or 2 issues with the program, which is not really affecting the end date, but things I need to look into further because I don't quite know enough about. But it's something I'm learning. And also every Wednesday I'd be updating then the weekly log as well, putting in my activities for the week and also adding in the goals for the following week. So there's just an example of the program, and then I'd just be clicking over here, so when that task would have been completed, I would click on that and put in 100%, or I could put in 25% or 50%, and I would work from my program. If there's something I could gain, or if I felt I was losing time, I would then work through the weekend. So then I would bring the program forward and drag it through the weekend. So everything then would complete itself by the 12th. I also added into it some milestones, which all the tasks are all linked to each other, and they're all auto scheduled, and there's several tasks or milestones I've added in, which I decided I would manually schedule because I didn't want these dates to change. So I put in milestones for such things as submitting this assignment for feedback. And here's the weekly log updated, so that's updated on the 25th of the 11th. Those are the activities that I've carried out for this week, and these are the goals: complete my PowerPoint presentation and record, which I'm doing today, and then this will allow me now to submit for feedback. So that will be my goals achieved for this week, and hopefully complete this assignment next week. So what's the learning outcome for this project? I think importantly is to read and carefully understand the assignment brief right at the start, not to go diving in, rushing in. I just go head first into the assignment. Just take some time, understand the assignment brief, and then work out how you're going to tackle the assignment. Also the process, putting time scales to your assignment, and keeping a log of your progress. I really found using this program through this assignment really helpful, which I would probably take forward and use in other assignments, rather than letting things slide and then find yourself under a lot of pressure right towards the end of a program, which has happened in the first assignment. Yeah, definitely. And achieve suitable methods to deliver a manager project. So yeah, as I'm going through this HNC course, I'm learning different software and how to use them, develop myself. I've used some of the software, but not probably to the extent I'm using it. So yeah, it's helping me learn, finding easier ways to do things, actually to make my life easier. And I think as I'm progressing, I think it's helping to teach me to produce far better reports and presentations and how to present my findings. So that's the end of my presentation. Thank you.